What is going on, friends? Sean Don coming back with the technical analysis. Here we have Masters athlete Al Johnson. Al just signed up for throws programming from your boy over on gripandrip.co. So if you're interested in throws programming of your own, technical analysis, lifting programming, whatever you need, I got you. Hit me up, gripandrip.co. If you have any questions, go to the contact page, shoot me a message on Instagram at sdthrows or gripandrip.co. Alrighty? So, without further ado, let's get into it, Al. All right. Competed USATF Masters, I think, Nationals in Texas a couple weeks ago. And yeah, he's just looking for a little some technical direction, some drill work, stuff like that. And yeah, dude, I love it. I love to see Masters athletes still at it because, I mean, I don't know if my body's going to hold up that long, but I'd love to keep throwing, especially when. What else is there to do in life but enjoy the things you love doing? So, as you age. So, yeah, it's big things to fix. I'd say the winds are number one. As you can see, there's a lot of shifting left and right, extending high over the head, looking down, giving to the hammer, shifting left and right, staying on that right side a little bit more. So I think this position right here is something we could definitely fix. Got to work on your posture, not extending those elbows too high over the head. And then if we can get you to turn your hips and turn your shoulders to face the right a little bit more, fixing this wind, fixing this entry, I think will go a long way. Because right now this just looks a little uncomfortable. And then also it makes it hard to connect earlier. As you can see, you're facing the right, but your hips are facing kind of the back of the circle. And then you don't really connect with the hammer until about like there or so. And then you start turning with it. So otherwise you're just kind of, it's all arms, I guess. And you can see, especially if we go back, it's almost all arms. A little bit of shoulders and torso, but mostly arms in the winds. You got to feel the hips. We'll kind of wind in the hammer, which sounds really weird, but and then also you can see right here, this left elbow kind of goes outside of the body. You see this weird kind of wiggle right there. Just that's instability in the system. All right, so got to fix those winds, and then fix the entry. Get the ball out more on the right. Get the ball forwards more. You're doing 3 heels, and big thing overall. I don't know the state of your body, Al, but if we can get those arms straightened out, we get those elbows straightened out, get the ball up and out away from the body a little bit more, get you to relax those arms because you can see this right arm is very tight, left arm is also tight. Short radius around there. You can see you're not quite connected with the hammers. There's like a little drop in the hammer. The line from the shoulders to the ball, between the arms and the wire, should be essentially a straight line. And then that'll help add a ton of distance just to start if we just get those arms straight. Otherwise, the turn itself, you could get a little bit more active with this right leg, with this right side. As you can see, a lot of this left side turning is what gets you through that first turn. Kind of lift the hammer a little bit around the left. Right side's behind you. You can see it kind of butt kicks behind you. Got to get a little bit more active with this right side. And then catch, try to get some separation. And you kind of pre-turn this foot, which I think is a little dramatic. I think I'd rather see this right foot kind of facing the hammer, hips facing the hammer. Because you catch early, but then you just do this weird pre-turn with this right foot where you can see this right foot straight, this left leg's kind of straight. You're kind of like turned inwards towards each other, both knees. I'd rather see a little bit more space between the knees. Will help your catch position, help your stability. And then otherwise, you catch, eyes are down, head's down, chest is down. And then that left heel comes down. And once your chest and head and kind of everything kind of drops like this and you're getting pulled forwards, you got to fight out of it. So this left side pulls more to keep tension with the hammer. You pull that left side, straighten out that left leg. Your right leg's turning with a little bit better, but as you can see here, this right leg kind of doing the Colin Dunbar special, kind of cowboying that leg like you're riding a horse or something. I don't know. I've heard it called like the cowboy leg. I don't know why. Maybe, I don't know. Like, is this riding a horse? I don't know. I'm speculating now. I'm getting off track. But arms are tight still, and then you can start to see you get pulled around this left side. and you catch again. So now this is kind of more what I'm talking about a little bit. As you can see, your hips are still kind of facing this way. If you were to draw a line and point where that is perpendicular to, your hips are kind of facing almost exactly where the camera is. And you're getting some separation, but your hips are kind of back out underneath you. If you saw this from a perfect like zero view, you'd see your hips aren't quite underneath you. You got this break-in posture where your hips need to be more underneath you, your shoulders, torso need to be upright. And then you catch, and like I said, you got this big space between the left side, so then it's not quite connected. Arms are tight. You can see your shoulders even start to kind of scrunch up. Traps getting tight, arms getting tight, and then you're kind of fighting out of it again. Chest isn't down as bad, but it's still not great. And you can start to see this separation between the left and the right foot, which means separation between the left and the right leg. You see the left foot pointing much ahead of the hammer and the right foot way behind. Arms tight, shoulders tight. Obviously, I think you're probably, you might have a problem with the ball hitting the ground perhaps. Maybe that's why your arms are tight and shoulders are tight. Who knows? If that is the case, that's the remedy is getting the ball up and out away from the body a little bit more, and then being a little bit taller. And I don't mean that in a literal manner. I mean like kind of keeping the torso more upright, head more up, arms long, ball up and out. And then you're kind of fighting out of it. Arms are tighter on the left, coming around the left more, getting pulled around. Wide right leg again. And then you catch, and you catch very shallow here where like this isn't, the thing about the hammer is each turn, it doesn't need to be exactly 360 degrees. It could be 340 degrees, could be 350, could be whatever, 380 degrees where you over rotate a little bit. But this sort of thing where like you turn and then you kind of cut the turn off and you catch super early, that's what I call kind of cutting off the rotation of the hammer. And when you do that, that means you're not really totally finishing the previous turn. You're not getting the ball in the direction of the sector before you kind of step towards the sector, whereas you can see your right foot picks up pretty early, and then you get pulled around the left and you put your foot down and you cut off the rotation. And it's like at this position, when you're trying to throw where this official is going to be really tough, because think about like a baseball swing or a golf swing. Your feet are kind of staggered, so you're really going to have to work your hips up into the throw here to just get around, I guess, and you're going to have to pull the left side a lot to get around to finish the ball in the direction of the sector. So we're going to see what happens here. You can see hips aren't quite underneath you, your legs aren't quite connected, hips could be a little bit more forwards, and then same sort of things before. You got this big space on this left side, and then so you're going to have to pull the left side, and then like I said, you can see as you go to finish, from this position, from like a standard hammer throw, you would be throwing in the direction of right there, and I don't know if that's in the sector. But then what you have to do to get the ball around is you pull this left side very, very aggressively, kind of like tippy-toe the finish, and finish out in the direction. As you can see, you get pulled around too. So that's the tendency. You got to stay a little bit more centered. So I know this is kind of a lot, I'm sure, to start with, but that's what these in-depth technical analyses are for. I just want to give you an idea of like just the general things that go wrong in a throw. It's also good for me to see and get an idea of like what drills to program for you, what exercises that you need, perhaps mobility and stuff like that. Like I said, the winds, fixing the winds, and then fixing the entry, and then getting those arms straight. Those are really the biggest things right now. And then from there, we'll work on the turns and stuff with different drills and exercises and all that stuff. And patience is decent, just got a lot of things to work out with the body. All right, so Al, let me know if you have any questions. We're going to talk further via text message and email as you send me a video and I'll review it over the course of the next month. And yeah, so if anybody else out there needs that service, that's called throws programming. You're going to get a detailed program of drills to do specific to your needs. All right. For example, Al's probably going to be doing a lot of wind drills, basic turn drills, stick drills, stuff to just get him acquainted with the feelings of the hammer. All right. So if anybody else out there needs that throws programming or any other online coaching, in-depth technical analysis, Grip and Rip merch, hit me up, gripandrip.co. All right, baby. Until next time, Sean Don signing off.